it's Deepica. I am back and today I'm going to be talking about all things color correction. Before I get started, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. I'm doing weekly videos now. I am back. It's going to be all things beauty, lifestyle, my life, vlogging, family, whatever. But yeah, today is going to be about color correction, which is kind of how my whole world started back in 2015. I used a red lipstick under my eyes to mask dark circles. That video went viral and kind of catapulted my whole dream career and now has made me create my own beauty brand. A dream of mine since I've had since a little girl. And I realized I have not talked about color correcting in a very long time, which is kind of crazy because we have the best color correctors in the industry and so many products relating to hyperpigmentation and dark circles. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about just educating y'all on what is color correction? Do I need to color correct? Who should be color correcting? If so, what's the right color corrector for me? What's the right shade for me? Do I put this on before my concealer, before my foundation, after my skincare, before my skincare? Let's get into it. I do want to caveat by saying I am not a makeup artist. I've never claimed to be a makeup artist. Nobody ever come for me and tell me I said something wrong. The whole point of what I do is I want to simplify makeup for all y'all because I am a beauty junkie. I worked in the beauty industry my entire career and I became a beauty influencer and now I have my own beauty brand. So I know a lot about beauty and now I know everything about what actually goes into making beauty products and how to make them quality. All right, so step one is what is color correction? Great question. I feel like the easiest way for me to break down color correcting is saying that it is a way to even out your skin's canvas. If we really break it down, our skin tone is made up of a ton of different hues. And a lot of us, most of us, have some sort of discoloration, whether it's redness, sallow skin, or hyperpigmentation, scars, whatever it might be. And so what color correcting allows you to do is really make it so you have an even canvas before you put on your complexion products. And if you're good at color correcting, which is my goal by the end of this video, is you feel very equipped to be good at color correcting, you actually end up using less makeup, not more. And I think that's the revolutionary thing I learned. My video back in the day shared and made people think you had to cake on a bunch of product. And then, it was the era of all the beauty brands that were all about a ton of makeup. And I think if I'm being honest, that's not who I am. I'm very about a 5-minute quick, easy face. The best way to look at it is the color wheel. If you look at a color wheel, you'll see what colors cancel out colors by seeing what's directly across from it. So if you have more green undertones in your hyperpigmentation, then the reds really do a good job of canceling it. And vice versa, as you go around the entire color wheel, you'll be able to figure out a little bit of which is the right shade for you. We launched with 3 different color correctors, a peachy color, an orange color, and a red color. And most recently, we actually launched an even more cooler toned light pink color that is for brightening and evening of the lightest skin tones. Most people, and this is our best seller, use Rise. And quite honestly, I used to use red, but my discoloration's actually gotten better. So I actually use Rise, the orange color. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about how I use it. So step one is prepping my skin before I ever put on any makeup. I've already done my skincare routine, but I just love our Rays under eye patches. They're just so cooling. They feel so nice. Your under eyes feel so depuffed, brightened and nourished and hydrated. And I love how cute these patches look too. They're so unique to us. Did anyone see Lola Tung use it on her Vogue beauty tutorial? I freaked out. I love that show. I've met her before and she's the sweetest person. It was the coolest thing to me. About after 10 minutes of having these on, your eye is nice and prepped and hydrated. You can keep them on longer too, by the way. Sometimes I just sleep with them. But look how nice that is. I'm gonna go in with Hueguard, which is our mineral SPF, but it's also a primer, which is very unique because most people do not like SPF under their makeup because of the cast it leaves, but ours does not leave a cast on. We really try to make it on as many skin tones as possible. Now my skin is nice and prepped. So now that the skin is prepped, what I do is I take my color corrector, and again, the thing about ours that I really love is that it is so lightweight. You don't feel it on your skin, and that was very intentionally designed. We also put skincare in it so you can tell how easily it just glides onto the skin very simply. But what I really want to show you guys is how little I actually use of the product. I've learned through the years from makeup artist friends, like how much a little goes a long way. Like I feel like I am part of the problem of the internet that made people think you had to like really bake it on there. But quite honestly, makeup artists would use even less than this. They would like take it and put it on the back of their hand and like apply it into the skin. The other great thing about our color corrector is look how easily you can just blend it out with your finger. And what this is doing is making it so it evens out my skin tone in the areas that I have some discoloration. So when I do put on my complexion product, my skin is nice and even. So by the end of the time you do color correction, it should look something more like this and not like you see a ton of the color corrector on your skin. And what I really wanted to show y'all was that it actually makes it so you use less product, not more. And typically on my day-to-day life, all I usually do is do this because now that my skin is even, I take a concealer and that is my everyday face. For people who do use foundation and concealer, right? I am not a foundation girly these days. I use a skin tint and I am obsessed with ours. This is also a mineral SPF 50, by the way. For the people who do use foundation, I do want to show you guys how this works. I did 2 squeezes of a tinted moisturizer. So just keep that in mind too. This is a tinted moisturizer level of coverage, not foundation. So it's super lightweight. What the color corrector did was actually even out the skin tone. So there's not a need to use a foundation. But I do know most people like to use foundation or tinted moisturizer and then a concealer to spot conceal. So I wanted to give you guys the option. It also just depends if you like your concealer to be a brightener or the exact same color as your skin tone. And typically I go in with our sponge and brush this out. Although I did just get these Rose and Ben brushes and the quality of these brushes, holy crap. The C42 brush from Rose and Ben. And I stipple it into my skin. You know, I always thought when we came out with our first complexion product, it would be Huestick complexion sticks because I always felt like we should have Huestick color correctors and Huestick complexion sticks, and I'm all about ease, and I think sticks are the easiest way to do makeup. But I did find that over our color correctors, the tool that was best was a liquid format product because you kind of have to stipple it on so the two don't mix all together. Love. And you guys can see, you don't see the color corrector at all anymore, just with a very lightweight skin tint plus a corrector. You can still see my skin through, but the hyperpigmentation is masked. And then if you want, you can go in with your concealer and use it as a brightener. And so in this case, I would just dab a very small amount. I like my sponge for under my eye. So it gives a little bit of that brightness. I'll link back to the video in the bottom, but I did a video where I showed my concealer as my full face. But if you are a person who likes to use their concealer as a brightener, now with the corrector, you use a very little amount of skin tint and then the concealer gets used as a brightener on the skin. I think what I really want the goal of this video to be for y'all is to know that like, just because you're a brown girl or just because you're a woman of color or just because you have hyperpigmentation, which everyone across the whole spectrum has, you don't have to feel like you have to cake and layer your makeup on to be able to get the coverage you're looking for and still feel like yourself. That really is my goal of this video, and I hope that's y'all's takeaway of it. But now you can see, brightened under the eyes, even skin tone, and the grayness is masked. Now, I could always go back in. A lot of makeup artists, whenever they do my glam, they've always started with less, and then they go in with more. Sometimes they'll go in and be like, oh, there's a little bit here and a little bit here. They love how it's a targeted crayon. That's the other thing. Blends into the skin and gets a little bit of that grayness out. I'm just pissed because we have our own powders coming out and I don't have it in front of me right now. But they're pressed powders because that's what I like to do. And you can just, again, set wherever you need to set and then do the rest of your face. I know color correcting can be complicated, but I'm gonna keep educating and talking to you guys about it. I wanna do some collabs with friends. Like I think it'd be fun to bring in a makeup artist friend to hear what they say about color correcting. I'm gonna go finish the rest of my face. I hope you found this video helpful. Okay, now I have a full face on. I'll leave the details down below with the rest of the face I put on, but I hope y'all found this video helpful. At the end of the day, my goal here is really to make it so y'all realize how not complicated color correcting. It doesn't really have to be that scary. So hopefully y'all found this helpful. Let me know if you have any other hyperpigmentation, dark circle questions in the comments below, and I will see you next time.